Osprey, thank you. Sky Princess underway from 38.9 now, and she will be swinging south of Dockhead.
Ahoy, shipmates! I realise you didn't hear the wonderful...
Returning, thank you.
I realise you didn't hear the wonderful tune of Sky Princess wafting along the Solent here, as I had the wrong microphone connected, apparently. So the software tells me. Having a funny day with the software today. Opened it up and I don't know, he was just all over the place. It's pretty good software most of the time, but very occasionally it just forgets everything and you have to plug it all in. There's so many different little bits and pieces here and there, and it takes me a little while. But anyway, that's the captain's problems, not you problems. Not the problems of the shipmates. The shipmates are here to enjoy a couple of ship movements today. I only got 3 today. It's rather unusual, isn't it, on a Saturday? So we've got the Sky Princess. She's just reversing around the dockhead there. She'll be turning towards us, doing a little twirly twirl right in front of us and slipping her way down the water. 5 o'clock, we've got Ventura from the other end of the port. And then at 6 o'clock, Iona.
Also, some meters, thank you.
BTS will supply.
Will supply, BTS.
Yeah, afternoon, sir. Just ran a 46 berth, grab a 300 barge off of the Iona and take it down to 102 berth, I believe, for the Monjassa provider when she gets here. Have you got an update for that vessel?
All supply VTS, that's all received. Yeah, Monjassa promoters currently passing brown down on our way inward bound. So brown down for North Channel and inward bound. Just be aware the Sky Princess has just let go from 38.9 and it's going to be swinging south of Dockhead.
Yeah, copy that, sir. We're in no hurry. Thank you.
Thank you, and the Sea Green's just gone alongside 46 as well.
Copy. Thank you.
Right, well, hope you caught all that. A few movements in the port this afternoon. What's I going to do? I'm just going to... yes. Right, Iona is... Well, Iona's over here on this camera. So she's blocking view. Sky Princess is right behind Iona, so we can't see anything just at the moment due to a rather large P&O Iona blocking our view. But we can see her on Netley Cam. Perhaps I was going to show you the weather. That's right, it's a little bit gusty. We're up to sort of gusts of just over 20 knots here in the port of Southampton. Around about 20 degrees. Lovely day if you're out on your yachts, like I've noticed over on Cowes. Yeah, there were quite a few yachts out in the Solent today. I think a perfect day for that. Lovely warm sun. Quite cool compared to the last couple of weeks of really hot temperatures. And then the Ventura, a little further up in port. Ventura, so we'll see the Sky Princess. She's just here reversing. That's the zoom image. She's just reversing back off the dockhead and will swing here. The Iona's here, blocking the view. Up here we have the Norwegian Prima, or Prima, not sure how we're going to pronounce that one. And then Ventura, she's way up here. Norwegian Prima is a new ship here for the Port of Southampton. Should be her maiden departure tomorrow, so potentially we'll have a water salute for her, and Ventura departs at 5. Oh, I think that's about covers it. Oh, I've forgotten to move the camera. I'm all at 6s and 7s. We'll see. Sky Princess lures a little bit around here. She is a rather large cruise ship departing for destinations of a Norwegian variety, from what I heard on the radio earlier. Well, everyone seems to be going to Norway these days. It seems to be the popular cruise destination of choice. A 14-night, thanks to Kevin too for this excellent information, a 14-night Land of the Midnight Sun cruise via Haugesund, Skulden, Olden, Trondheim, Honningsvåg, Tromsø, Leknesgravdal, Olstund and Bergen. Fairly confident he just types a lot of random letters in. He's typing those place names. None of them look particularly right to me. But that's a 14-night cruise. We haven't had any numbers just yet. We wait for the spin around and they'll probably give us the numbers as she's on her way down the side of the water.
Jet 7, thank you. The Auto Sun reach outbound main channel with Champion eastbound North channel in. The Sky Princess is just about to start swinging south of Dockhead. Two stations, THV alert feature. That's all I see, thank you. Call me again passing through the forts. And Princess Caroline, BTS afternoon. Princess Caroline, that's all received, thank you. Jet 6, thank you. Sky Princess swinging south of Dockhead, outward bound. The Wick Champion and the Monjassa Promoter eastbound or inward bound. And dockhead is 3.21.
Oh, look, Sky Princess having a little twizzy twirly whirly there. Oh, I've been slightly distracted by an incredibly fast looking sailboat I just saw on Southampton water. I was trying to follow it with cruise cam to let you all see it, but to be honest, it was too fast. I've got no idea. It must have been some sort of foiling sailboat because it was absolutely blasting off. See if we can get the captain to zoom in on that later. We might even see it on Netley Cam. But heading off to the some sort of midnight excursion, Norwegian special travel. 14-night land of the midnight sun. There we go. That's what it is. Thank you to Kevin too for that. And let's have a quick look. Where is the chat gone? Where's the chat? Oh, ahoy there, shipmates. Oh, lots of people in the chat. Ahoy there, Tizzy C. Ahoy there, BK444. Ahoy there, Gareth Dixon. And ahoy there, Vanessa Wells.
Southampton VTS. This is Iona, calling on channel 12.
Iona VTS, afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, sir. It's just to confirm with you that our departure time today will be at 1800.
Iona VTS, sorry, see, yeah, have you down for 1800, said pilot be within good time, boarding from shore side.
Pilot will be boarding from the shore side, thank you very much. Have a good watch, listening on channel 12 and channel 16.
I don't think there's a lot of point in playing Iona Bingo today. Looks like she'll be departing at 6 o'clock. All the cruise ships lately have been departing very promptly. I think the hassle of COVID has made them streamline their processes, and now people get on very quickly. Very impressive. Right, so we don't have any numbers yet for Sky Princess. I seem to remember last week when she was out, she was quite full. Capacity-wise, she's got space for 3,660 passengers and 1,346 crew. I would imagine, if it's anything like last week, it will be very similar to maximum capacity numbers. I'm pretty sure that's how she was last week. Right, we've lost the chat again. Oh, ahoy there, Chris Bevan, and ahoy there, Vanessa Wells. I think I might have already ahoyed you already, Vanessa Wells. Never mind. You get double ahoying. Well, there will be film from the Isle of Man, if I remember correctly. Make some drone videos of ferries coming in there, the Isle of Man, and other ships. I see you get quite a variety up there in the Isle of Man, actually. Next time I'm up that way, I'll have to pop in and say hello.
VTS, I'm curious.
Jamie Dewey, you think you could watch, and Mercurius VTS.
VTS, I'm curious. Just away from Port Scott for the Ventura sailing.
All received. We'll supply dock catches coming into the ocean dock.
Roger, thank you.
Yeah, because it's a bit blustery. I'll check the weather. Are we still gusting? Yeah, still gusting somewhere near the 20 knots. Consistent. Just not high enough to require tug assistance for the departures of the cruise ships, but it does make Netley Cam wobble around a bit, especially as it's coming from sort of southwest-west. All that sort of direction, I would think, according to that. Oh, it's a daisy. There we go. Tide looks like it's out. Hopefully we'll be carrying out some maintenance work on Netley Cam in the next couple of weeks or two, which will involve steadying it up with some guy ropes and levelling it out so that it stops the cruise ships from going downhill all the time. Be interesting. Oh, there's Charlotte Parrott. Hopes I'm doing well. I'm indeed doing well. Thank you, shipmate. Ahoy there, shipmate. Mark Teals as Norwegian Prima is on its first visit. Absolutely right, shipmate. She arrived this morning. I was going to drone her this morning, but she arrived quite early. It was a little bit dark, and I didn't. Wasn't actually in port, so it made things a little tricky there. But I'm hoping that tomorrow on her, I think it's her maiden departure tomorrow. Well, certainly the first time we'll be seeing her depart, so I'm hoping there might well be some water salute action.
Sky Princess, thank you. That's Red Ops Phase Lanes Lake in with Champion Monjassa provider, promoter, North Channel Windward.
With the Tizzy C says he's missed this. Oh, thank you, Tizzy C. And as well says that the Norwegian Queen leaves at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Thank you for that, Vanessa. Hadn't actually looked at the time for departure. I know we've got quite a few departures tomorrow. We've got Norwegian Prima at 8 o'clock. Then we've got Queen Victoria at 4:30. Queen Mary 2 at 5 o'clock. The Britannia at 6 o'clock. And Norwegian Prima at 8 o'clock. So a fairly busy day tomorrow. Couldn't quite hear the Sky Princess then, so I'm not sure on numbers. Who knows? Like I say, previously she's been a very busy cruise ship. Well, there, Ben says the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is arriving in October. Oh, okay. Not entirely sure what that is. Thank you for that information, shipmate. We have a couple of spellers in the chat today. That's Tim Ellis is here with providing useful information, and of course Kevin too is also here. And avoid there, Winkles 101, who is on board the Sky Princess, watching the beautiful scenery and your channel at the same time. Oh, wow! Excellent,
thank you.
I think we're going to struggle to see you waving today, unfortunately, because of the distance. You haven't come that close to any of the cameras. But it looks like you've got a pretty decent day. The sun is strong, although even though if the air temperatures are particularly friendly, I imagine sitting there and watching the views would be quite nice. It's a gentle sea breeze to keep you cool. Oh, ahoy there, Ben, who says, what does ahoy mean? Well, it's the traditional greeting of a shipmate to shipmate, or sailors to sailors. So we like to use nautical terminology on this channel, as we are a ship-based channel. And ahoy is the greeting of choice for a sailor.
VTS, Red Eagle, good afternoon. Leave and roll pair and compass 3, please.
Red Eagle, VTS, afternoon to you. Town Quay has just left the ocean dock inward bound, and the Princess Caroline Itching Bridge coming round to Town Quay with Champion and Monjassa promoter North Channel inward bound.
That's all, copy, thank you.
Oh, there's Steve Mack. Oh, he's on time again. This new watch purchase has been doing you wonders, hasn't it, Steve Mack? Always on time these days. What did he say? It's disappeared. Oh, there it is. Iona's bound to need some tug assistance. A bit of a social animal. Could well be right. It is. The wind is it dying down a little bit? It's still pretty generous, to around 20 knots. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Iona had a bit of tug assistance. She has to reverse out and swing around the dock, and the wind is going to blow her straight back onto the dock. So there's a good chance, indeed, that she may have a bit of tug assistance. We did hear sorry about that. We did have a little radio conversation from Tug Mercurius earlier, so keep an eye out for that. Hi there, John Sharp. There's, enjoying the blog. He will be on Iona next Saturday. The only downside is the 5-hour coach journey. Oh, well, probably worth it. 5-hour coach journey for a week on Iona. I'm assuming it's going to be a week, probably up to the fields. That seems to be where everyone's going. Ahoy there, vendor. And Chris Bevan is saying that he's just been to Mayflower Park for some ship spotting. It is indeed one of the best locations, I would say, Mayflower Park. Especially if your cruise ships are in sort of the higher numbers, 106, those berths. They come right past you, lovely and slowly.
Yes, please.
They come past you nice and slowly, and you can buy an ice cream or even some fish and chips. Oh, and there are also day heads available. Alright, Vendor makes a very good point. There is a like button somewhere which you can click if you fancy. Just drop an anchor on that like button because does something to the algorithm. Mystery as to what exactly it does. Now, if you do enjoy these broadcasts, well, do think about subscribing. It doesn't cost a penny, and you'll be notified when I broadcast, which is a little bit haphazard. I don't really have a bit of a routine in place, especially this time of year. I'd like to be out on the water myself whenever possible, so I'll have to sort of fit it in. And the traffic in the New Forest is horrendous these days. Terrible roadworks in Newbury. It clogs up everywhere. The motorcycle is very effective at just slipping in between the cars and navigating around. Still haven't had, I don't think, any numbers from Sky Princess yet. Last week she was quite full. Have a look if she is on. Oh yes, now she's on. Eventually, at last. She's just slipping on to here. This is a good view. So Sky, we've got the Sky Princess in the background there. One of the red jets shooting up Southampton water, and as you can see, there's the bow of Iona. Zoom in here. I don't know if you can quite make that up. It's a bit. It's not so bad as last week when it was so hot. It was very heat hazy. Still a little bit heat hazy, but not as bad as last week. If you can see right on the front there, near on the bow, there's a sort of post with the P&O House flag on top. That little gold thing at the bottom is the ship's bell. And ahoy there, Omar Rastelli. Many thanks for subscribing, shipmate. As you can see, the gentle breezes blowing the flag towards that. Probably somewhat sheltered behind the bow.
Roger 7, yes please.
Looks to me like a lot of people down at Cowshot Spit. Very popular. Yes, I can see. I was just about to say it's the sort of day I'd imagine people would be kite surfing. Perfect day for it. Good breeze, fairly calm water. Sea state's not too choppy, so won't be throwing you about. Lovely warm sun, so that when you fall into the slightly chillier than the Mediterranean waters of the Solent.
Will supply, Beecher. supply, feature.
Yeah, just clear of 46 with a 300 barge. Straight up to 102, please.
Will supply all received. Red Osprey and Red Jet 7 are dockhead in, and Ventura due to leave 106 at 1700.
Copy those, thank you.
Red Osprey VTS, do you copy the will supply?
VTS, Red Osprey. Sorry, say again.
Yeah, will supply with a barge coming out the ocean dock up for the 102.
Got it, thank you.
Ahoy there, shipmate Chris Pettigrew. Many thanks for joining, shipmate.
And Red Jet 7, do you copy?
VTS Red Jet 7, all copy, thank you.
Sounds like a very nautical name, Pettigrew. A little rating in the Navy. Welcome aboard, shipmate.
Shield Hall, thank you. Sky Princess, lanes lake out.
Somewhere we have Shield Hall. She is our local vintage ship. I'm not quite sure where she is. I think she was down Southampton water somewhere. She often goes out on the afternoons or evenings so that she can have a little sightseeing trip. See the cruise ships coming and going. Shipmates are busy looking at webcams in Vancouver. Vancouver, lovely city there in the Pacific Northwest, just above Washington State. Typically voted, or often rather, I should say, voted the best place in the world to live. Lovely climate, low unemployment, relatively inexpensive cost of life, cost of living. So I must say I've been there a few times. It's very good. You've got lots of water nearby, boats, skiing, lots of the wilderness up there. So yeah, lovely place, Vancouver. I think that's where you can get a cruise ship to the Arctic from Vancouver. See quite a few people up on the top. I'm not going to zoom in from this distance. It just will be too far, unfortunately. See a good number on board.
Red Falcon, thank you. The Shield Hall just doing round turn at East Bramble and inward bound again North Channel. Sky Princess, Cabland outward bound will be clear channel. And Ventura due away from 106 at 1700.
Shield Hall somewhere in the Solent, by the sounds of it. So she'll get very up close and personal to Sky Princess when she comes past. Can't seem to see it on AIS. I wonder if she's got the AIS turned off. See the Hamble lifeboats out and about, hopefully just for an exercise. Nothing too life-threatening, one would hope. In fact, is that Shield Hall? Shield Hall just to the left of the crane there, potentially. Could be. Or that could be Wittonia. Wittonia, Wit Champion. I think that's Wit Champion. Look very similar. Wit Champion and Shield Hall at a distance. Oh, hang on. It could be. I think it's more than. No, a whole collection of ships going on out there. Kevin 2's just politely sent me a little map of Shiltle just off the Bramble Bank somewhere. So there she goes.
Oh, I see. Thank you. The Will Supply just passing your station and we're bound. And Princess Caroline rounding dock heading for Town Quay.
Yeah, so it looks like we might pretty much Shiltle is dead in front of the camera, so we'll probably see her later. So she's coming. I think she's coming back into port probably after a bit of sightseeing. There we look. There we go. We've got, this is the count shot Spitz here in the distance, and then that's Shiltle all the way down there. Wit Champion and Monjassa Promoter. With Sky Princess approaching the Esso refinery. And disappearing behind that crane. Very annoying. Oops. Yep. Oh, we are looking at a time at the moment of 4:35. Next departure is the Ventura at 5, and then Iona at 6. Can't see Ventura at the moment. She's at the other end. Let's keep it the wrong one. She's at the other end of the port. So we can't really see her until she'll come onto screen. Oh, ahoy there, shipmate Jan Nichols. Many thanks for your kind donation. Greatly appreciated.
Auto Sun, Beacher.
We can see Auto Sun just in the distance there.
Auto Sun, that's all. Let's see, thank you. THV alert, top of deep water. Moving, we're bound for Cows, and the next one would be the Patang. See, just south of the island. Should be in for Westminster, by the looks of it.
And helpfully there, Kevin 2 has directed me to the actual location of Shiltle. There you are, flying her way across the North Channel in the Solent. It does actually look a little bit choppy. A little bit of splashing going on. Probably not enough to upset your based cocktail as you enjoy a sail past. I think it's by the airport and beyond the sea there. Yes, obviously clearly good breeze because that's quite a heel on that sailboat. Quite a bit of heat haze out that way as well.
Wit Champion, that's all received, thank you. Next out, we're bound to be the Ventura from 106 1700. Red, Falcon Beacher. Falcon Beacher, so I think you need to switch your AIS switch.
Wind, unfortunately, making Netley Cam a little bit wobbly there. That's something we will try and aim to solve in the next couple of weeks. Weather has picked up this morning. As you can see, there were some quite gentle breezes out there, but during the day it slowly has picked up here. We're experiencing gusts in the low 20s. Tide is slightly higher than predicted, probably due to the potentially low pressure and the wind. Just over 20 degrees today. Quite a bit cooler than it was last week. Wind from a west-south-west direction. Well, there, Robin Courage says, hope you're not too cold.
Curious. Ventura.
No, I'm okay, shipmate. It's actually quite pleasant today. Makes a change.
Southampton VTS.
The Ventura VTS this afternoon.
This radio does work then. Just curious, but does.
Yeah, I think they're up there next to you.
Oh, they're here. I can't talk to them. Okay, I'll try again in a minute.
Sounds to me like...
Oh, somebody going 7-4. Very faint there. Okay.
Sounds like we're curious. We'll be helping Ventura with a bit of tug assistance there.
One Jessa promoter, thank you. Ventura should be away from 106 at 1700, and we'll supply with your spacer barge just approaching 102. Sky Princess, yes please.
Oh, if that's the numbers, we can't hear.
All received, thank you. All copied. Shield Hall's in the North Channel, inward bound again, and Red Falcon at southbound. Britannia, BCS, afternoon.
Well, they mark the shark. Says, are we doing a live stream when Norwegian Prima leaves tomorrow at 8? Yes, I'm planning on doing that. Planning on being on the water myself, so I might struggle with the earlier movements.
Britannia, all received, thank you. Auto Sun approaching the Sturbridge outward bound.
Got quite a few movements tomorrow. Starting with the Queen Victoria at 4:30, then the Queen Mary 2 at 5, then the
Car carrier Auto Sun west of the Sturbridge outward bound.
as I was saying. So yeah, got quite a few birds. We've got Queen Victoria at 4:30, Queen Mary 2 at 5, Britannia at 6, and then the Norwegian Prima at 8.
Monjas, promoter will supply. Afternoon, sir. Can we try channel 10?
VDS Wedge at 7, shortly departing Town Quay.
Roger 7, thank you. Inward bound with champion and just a promoter passing SO. Sky Princess, hook outward bound, clear channel, and the Shield Hall, north channel, inward bound.
That's all, copy, thank you.
Oh, there, Chris Pettigrew. I seem to remember your new subscriber says that off on Ventura next Thursday, and then Iona next year for your honeymoon. Excellent, should make that. Looks pretty exciting stuff. Sounds like Ventura is going to be departing on time.
Station calling BTS. Greenpin, all received, thank you. Have a good watch.
Yes, there's a great set of bookings you've got there. Shipmate Chris has. Boy there, Marina Claire. I was just looking at. Well, let's see if I can work some magic here. Go to here. Just seeing what the curious tug is doing up.
Southampton BTS, Ventura.
Oh, here we go.
Ventura, afternoon again.
Yeah, it's afternoon again. Well, just setting the scene. We're hoping to be away on time, or thereabouts. And she's 8.7, not the 8.2 in Tavis. And we're outward bound for Funchal. Figures to follow.
Ventura, that's all received. I'll update the draft. We'll supply with the barge there, just going alongside 102 for the Monjassa promoter, who's currently passing SO inward bound.
Aye, aye. When you say the Will What's-It's going alongside 102, do you mean to say he's going alongside the ship that's on 102?
Yeah, it's going alongside the ship, so it's the barge is a spacer barge between the ship and the Monjassa promoter.
Aye, aye.
Do love a bit of aye. Not often you hear that these days, but clearly an old sea dog there. I can tell when it's quite windy, it does churn up the water rather, producing a slightly brown hue to proceedings. Ventura's at the other end of port, so it's been a little while before we see her, assuming she departs on time. Could well be sort of 15, 20, maybe 25 minutes for her. She's pointing the right way, so it shouldn't take her too long. Plenty of sailboats out there today.
Will supply channel 12.
Sky Princess getting to the end of Southampton water now. She's, like I say, relatively new to it. maiden voyage was...
Roger, 6 VTS, sorry, over traffic there. Outward bound, the Sky Princess at the beach, clear channel. The Shield Hawes in the North Channel, inward bound on Jassa Promoter with Champion SO1 inward bound.
Yeah, maiden voyage in October 2019, so pretty new, because obviously quite shortly after that we had a few lockdowns, so we didn't really see her with passengers on board. Top speed 23 knots, 43 kilometres an hour for you continental types, 26 miles per hour in the Queen's units. She's 330 metres long, that's why we can see her quite clearly at this distance. Total of 19 decks. And a beam of 38 metres. Surprisingly, just a draft of 8.5 metres. So there's 8.5 metres of ship below the water.
6 VTS.
Doesn't seem very much, does it?
Yeah, count short 3.49.
You say the water's picked up a bit of chop. The Netley Cam is
East to the bank, thank you.
having a bit of a wobble there. Have to flick away from that. Looks like we've got the ships coming up. The Champion, I think that was coming up. Southampton water. She's one of the bunkering vessels. Ventura is still on the dock at the moment with the tug Mercurius. It's needing a bit of a tug off today. That's Monjassa Promoter and Wit Champion, though, just coming in from the left-hand side there. Have a Netley Cam. We've got a couple of ferries. You can see one on the right, one in the middle. It's a bit wobbly, unfortunately. It's definitely picked up a bit of wind. Still gusting. Yeah, still gusting around, well, over 20 knots. So, yeah, it's pretty windy. Enough to upset your hair. I can see Sky Princess disappearing around the corner there. That looks like we've got Wit Champion, Monjassa, and then that could be Shield Hall on the very left-hand side of the screen. Tricky to say. Quite similar at distance, all these ships. So we'll try going back to Netley Cam, but I think it probably needs a bit of a zoom out. Unfortunately. Waiting for Ventura next. She's due away at 5 o'clock. Pilot suggested 5 o'clock would be the departure time. The tug Mercurius is there to lend a hand. I think the pilot was having difficulty communicating with the tug Mercurius. I think that's all sorted now, so there's a good chance she'll be waiting on 5. We won't see her for a little while, though. She is at the other end of the port. Definitely some fast-moving sail traffic out there. So are probably ideal conditions for that. See if I can capture some of these fast-moving sailboats. Here we go. There's a fast-moving sailboat. There we go. He's certainly nipping along rather rapidly. And there's a chap behind him with a black sail, and he's certainly... Look at that, yeah, he looks like a catamaran there, but I'm not quite entirely sure what sort of catamaran that is. Not sure if that's a Hobie cat. Could be. Not much to it. They're probably ideal weather for shooting around on a lightweight sailing vessel. Sea state is relatively calm. Little tiny bit of chop. A few odd white horses. Probably just becoming the slightly uncomfortable side of choppy at the moment, I'd imagine.
I have a set 7 for busiest. I have a set Southampton busiest. That's all copy, thank you.
The flag coming up or they're going down? Back up again. You see the breeze on the P&O house flag there. And again, unfortunately, Iona rather does get in the way.
Ready, go busiest at the hook, thank you.
5 to 5, so we'll hopefully seeing the departure of Ventura at 5. Having a little bit of tug assistance. There we go. You can see the Wit Champion and what's the other chap? Wit Champion and something else. The Monjassa Promoter.
Auto Sun, busiest between the ports, thank you.
That's the Monjassa Promoter on the right and the Wit Champion on the left. It's pretty much a neck and neck race. Not entirely sure who's winning this one. Rib out there having a good old bounce around. It looks like that catamaran's out there again as well, whizzing around. Have a look and see where Ventura is. Well, I would suggest that Ventura is... What is he here? What's he? Got a tug. Tug Curious is there. It's on the stern, so that's all looking good. She's in the position I would expect to be, ready for departure. So that's probably going to occur more or less on time at 5. So it will just be a little while before she actually appears on screen. So if you do need to head down to the galley shipmates, now would probably be a good time. Get yourself a refreshing drink. I can recommend it. Ah, with the Daniel-san. With the Kim Tuzes, with champions in the lead. Let's keep an eye on this race. And see that the other one
THV alert, Southampton BCS through the port, thank you. Question, how long will you be in Southport?
There's the ship's bell there on the front of Iona.
Will Power, I believe it is, the Ventura.
Deceptive angles.
THV alert, Southampton BCS, could you repeat the last thing you interrupted?
See, we champions in the lead there, and the other one, the
Correction.
promoter.
Will supply the Ventura.
Coming in second.
THV alert, Southampton BCS, apologies, could you repeat again please, you were interrupted. Stay run until the 27th, thank you very much. Hi, Falcon BCS. At the hook, thank you.
The members of the Netley Cliff Sailing Club have been out today. Ideal date for going out on a small yacht, dinghy. It's a sea state that's agreeable. Decent bit of wind. What could you want? Now that is Shield Hall coming up Southampton water. Red jets blasting up, and the very background, if you can make it out, that's the ferry from Portsmouth to Fishbourne.
Shield Hall BCS, at the hook, thank you.
BTS, Red Osprey, ROP for cars, please.
Red Osprey BCS, that's all copy, thank you. Stop information with company and one death at the motor, approaching northwest Netley, inbound, and ferry traffic.
All copy, thank you.
Chora still moored up, due to leave a couple of minutes ago. Pilot did suggest may just be a minute or two late, but she'll depart, head forwards, and be down Southern Water fairly quickly. So we should see, assuming she departs next minute or two, I'd think probably somewhere in the region of 20 past 5, maybe quarter past 5, somewhere in that sort of window. We'll see her come past. Oh, they're launching the little sailboat. I'm going out for a nice evening sail. Probably the Max, the Commodore from Netley Cliff Sailing Club. Could well be him. He's often down there. Point in the right direction. Jump on board. Could be better.
Southampton VTS, Venture.
Ventura, yes. Good afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon to you. Right, gangways ashore, just about to commence singling up. If you've got a pen, I can reel off the figures for you.
Ventura, yes, sir. And that's ready.
Passengers 2842, crew 1154, giving a total, hopefully, 3996.
That's as long as your maths are right, but I don't doubt you. 2842 1154. All copy, thank you.
Thank you.
That's excellent news there, shipmates. Ventura just singling up. She'll be departing soon. We've got the Shield Hall and the Red Funnel now having a little race up Southampton water. Fortunately, a little bit wobbly on Netley Cam. There were some figures there. I'm not sure. I actually got the figures myself. Boy there, CWK19 says, do you think you might have get invited on board some vessels these days? Bunker barges, etc., etc. Well, thank you, shipmate. I, at one point, I was trying to get on board, and then sort of lockdown came back in, and it all went south. I should probably push to try and do that again. The chaps at VTS would be were quite keen to get me up there. They suggested I get on board a pilot boat, which would involve going around to sort of nab anchorage and jumping on board. I liked the sound of that. It sounded excellent. Hopefully, let's see, what were their numbers for Ventura? Activity's got 2,842 passengers, 1,154 crew. That would make a relatively full ship. She has a total capacity of 3,200 almost. And she's got 2,800, so a little space in the cabins. And she's got, what's their crewage? Crewage of Ventura, I'm not sure, but I would imagine, let's see if she's got crew on board of 1154, that's probably a fairly full complement of crew.
We'll supply, Southampton VTS.
VTS will supply.
We'll supply, Southampton VTS, for your information, sir, the Ventura on 106 singled up and eager to slip away.
Yep, copy that, ma'am. Leave the tugs there. If necessary, I'll go and push up on the cable.
As all copies, sir. Thank you, much appreciated.
The Sky Princess has made it all the way around to Cows now. She's over on Cows Cam. So you can see by this point in time they really do pick up some speed, probably travelling in the sort of 16 knot range, I'd imagine, 15, 16 knots, whizzing past Cows.
All copies, thank you.
She has to navigate around Bramble Bank. This year's cricket match, I think, is in September somewhere. Unfortunately, it looks like I won't be able to go this year, which is rather a shame. Bramble Bank is a big sand bank in the middle of the Solent, and it occasionally pops above the water at really low tides. Traditionally, once a year, when it's a very low tide, somewhere in the summer, the two yacht clubs in Cowes play a cricket match on Bramble Bank, right in the middle of the Solent. It's quite a fun thing to do. It's normally very early in the morning. These things always seem to be. And all of a sudden, people turn up from sort of what seems like nowhere. They will flood over in their ribs and boats and all sorts. Jump onto the Bramble Bank, play a couple of games of, I think it's just the one game of cricket match. Probably wrong terminology there. They play the one game and then they jump back on board, have their bacon butties, and go home. It's quite entertaining. It's a real sort of party atmosphere in the middle of the Solent. Sort of 6 o'clock on a summer's day. 6 o'clock in the morning. And there goes Sky Princess off to the fjord. Quick look at Ventura. Tug is definitely tugging. But the ship is still there. Keep an eye on Shield Hall coming up Southampton water instead, shall we? Over on Netley Cam now, we can in fact see Shield Hall and Sky Princess. Probably, unfortunately, the wind's going to make this a little bit wobbly. Focus. There we go. Yeah, it's a bit wobbly, unfortunately, there, shipmates. Good job to sort that one out. Well, let's get back to the chats. I've been a bit all over the place today. Oh, there's shipmate Faith Cloud says, will we be live tomorrow for Norwegian Prima departure? Yes, 8 o'clock. Norwegian Prima departs. I plan to cover that one. I'm hoping, expecting, feeling slightly confident there'll be a water salute, which will be good. We also have quite a few ships departing tomorrow. Starting with Queen Victoria at 4:30, then the Queen Mary 2 at 5, then the Britannia at 6, then the Norwegian Prima at 8 o'clock. So a bit of a gap in between. I suggest you probably sort out your galley routine for
BTS Ventura.
6:37.
Ventura, BTS.
That's us singled up. Be breaking away shortly.
Ventura, BTS, all copy, thank you.
There we go. All singled up, breaking away shortly. It's going to move over to cruise camp. It's less wobbly. And there is Shield Hall. Ploughing. Not the fastest vessel, Shield Hall. I think she steams at what will be best termed an economical speed. Currently steaming 8.5 knots. I'm not that familiar with Shield Hall, but
Baton, BTS, all copies, West Princess, thank you. See Sky Princess looking ahead, south side middle, outbound.
not that familiar with Shield Hall's workings, but there's a good chance 8.5 knots is in fact her top speed. I was talking to it was Chris from Shield Hall, and he was telling me there's some ridiculous number of boilers on board. I don't remember if it's like 13 or 19 boilers. Can't quite know how all that works. I'm hoping to get on board one day. So he invited me on board. Well, because he seems to be go out the weekends when I go out the weekends. Can't seem to coordinate our schedules very well. Just waiting for Ventura to break away, and then she'll be on our screens. Probably about 20 minutes or so.
516 BTS, all copy, thank you.
BTS, Monjas promoter.
Monjas promoter, BTS.
Yeah, there was a delay with our barge there, and we're going to hold off Ocean Dock here until the Ventura is sailed.
Monjas promoter, Southampton BTS, that's all copy, thank you.
I just heard the unmistakable hoot of Ventura. Don't suspect you heard that on the microphone because it was very faint because she is at the other end of the port, unfortunately. That sounds like she is on the move. Let's have a look. Yes, indeed. She is on the move. There we go. Just leaving. Tug assistance, like I say, probably because the weather is gusting. It's calmed down a little bit, but it has there's a little spike there. 23 knots. This is typically, I've noticed, when the wind is around the 20 knots region, they seem to call for tug assistance. Just over 20 degrees, 78% humidity. Rather lovely day for a departure.
BTS, Jet 6, shortly away from Town Quay, please.
Jet 6 BTS, that's all copy, thank you. Traffic information, the Ventura has just departed 106 berth, will be proceeding outbound. The Monjasa promoter is holding off 38.9 berth. Ferry traffic at this time additional.
BTS, Jet 6, that's all copy, thank you.
BTS, Red Falcon, departing northwest Netley inbound.
Red Falcon, BTS, that's all copy. Permission granted with caution for the Monjasa promoter, holding off 38.9, and the Ventura is just outbound from 106 berth.
Oh, copy, thank you.
Right, the 7 BTS, that's all copy, thank you. Traffic information, ferry traffic. The Shield Falls is also approaching hand inbound. The Ventura just broken away from 106 berth outbound.
Be a few minutes before we get to see Ventura on the screen, so we'll just keep a friendly eye on Shield Hall. Slowly getting closer, so she'll have a fantastic view eventually of Ventura when she gets close to it. She goes back up to the other end of port as well, so just have to go right past. Eventually, they've got their little dinghy launch there. Out for an evening sail. It's looking a little bit choppy. Boy, there, Kate Tinsley says, on Ventura, we are moving. Thank you, shipmates. Boy, there, Melissa Roberts says, who decides whether a tug is needed, the captain or the port authority? Oh, good question. I don't know the answer to that one. I would imagine it's the pilot.
Alley Cat, Southampton, yes, that's all copy. Thank you, traffic information. As you can see, the Skyphone first approaching North Sailboat outbound and effective. And the THB alert. Southside middle, bound to count.
I was there. I imagine it is the pilot, because not all vessels will use a tug. When it's really windy, they all seem to use it. In this sort of where it's around 20 knots or so, some use it, some don't. I think possibly it's got to do with the manoeuvrability of the ship and where it's located. So yeah, good question there, shipmates. Oh, and Tim Ellis says that the port has regulations regarding when the tug is applicable, and the captain can request one. There you go. So yeah, so I feel a combination of both, really. So it depends where you're moored and what the conditions are, whether or not you think you may or may not need a tug, I guess. But yes, around 20 knots, so you start to see tugs. Looks like some chap there coming up on his Axopar, shooting up Southampton water. We'll get to see. There we go. We'll get to see Shield Hall just coming onto cruise cam now. While we wait for Ventura. Ventura is. I haven't heard anything from Radar. I'd imagine she's still. Yeah, still pulling away from the dockside. Only just slowly going forward, heading towards Mayflower Park. Good question from Sally G asking whether Kate will be waving. Ah, yes, Kate is on Ventura. We would like to know if you are waving, shipmates, whereabouts you'll be standing roughly. I would suggest the stern, if you can, at the top on the stern. That's probably the easiest place for me to see because I'll always tend to zoom in there. Which will be nice and easy to spot you if you are waving. Had some good wavers recently. Had a chap with a towel, that was quite obvious. We have red and white towels, I think, if I remember correctly. Hoy there, Martin Coles said, disembarked off Iona this morning. I was going to say, I thought he said he had a mega holiday. He's having mega holiday blues. Oh, clearly, so bad. He's having to watch Solent Ship Channel to get more of his cruise ship fixed. Probably going to make it worse, though. Surely you'd be looking at Iona departing and thinking, oh, I have to be back on there. Shield Hall still coming up the water. I think, where's Shield? I reckon Shield Hall and Ventura. They may cross on camera, right opposite the ocean terminal. That's a possibility. There's a bit of space there where the middle swing ground is. There's a chance they would do that. That seems about right timing.
BTS with champion.
We're champion, BTS.
BTS, we're champion all fast at 22. We'll be here about 3 hours and then we'll shift back to 23.
We're champion, BTS, that's all copied all fast, thank you.
The Ventura just passing by the Norwegian Prima, and you can see even the little outlines here on the vessel finder are a little different in size. I did notice coming down into the port this afternoon that Norwegian Prima looked very large. She looked...
CSB alert. Southampton BTS, Southampton, thank you.
She looked like she was towering above the docks. I'll have to check her air draft. I don't know much about her, actually. I'll kind of need to do some research before tomorrow's broadcast. Otherwise, I won't be able to tell you anything. Of course, one day I will get invited onto the press launches. And the powers that be see fit to invite the captain on. But until this point, I will have to make do with reading the website. Shield hall here, just coming in behind the bow of Iona. I often try and leave the camera near the bow of Iona on the sort of towards departure time. So if you want to wave at someone, come up to the bow, sort of promenade deck there, and it'll be fairly obvious. Master Shipmate Martin Cole said that he got off Iona this morning and said he had an incredible trip. So good for you, shipmate. That's what we want to hear. Hear people having good trips. Oh, there, Gemma Harris. Bit late. That's all right, Gemma. We've still got Ventura appearing, I would say, probably the next 10 or 20 minutes. And then the Iona, of course, departing at 6. Oh, maybe I'll just run over. Still got Shield Hall there. Keep an eye on him. Boy, there's Sue Modern, not on Ventura until next year. Richard CD is talking about Daniel Sand posted that this day, 1983, the oil tanker Burma Endeavour, the largest oil tanker in the world, docked here for several months. I do remember coming down to the port. Yes, she was indeed humongous. Sarah Bennett's on Ventura in 50 weeks' time. Not that she's counting. And Sue Modern says 46 weeks for her.
I've seen BTS all copied, Ventura, they head outbound.
Just coming up on Mayflower Park. Yep, that's here ahead is, well, what's left of the Royal Pier, which is frankly a disgrace to the port of Southampton. I think something should be done about that. Otherwise, you arrive on a fantastic cruise ship to just look at a fallen down pier. Anyway, that's Ventura coming out past Mayflower Park. Shortly be on cruise cam. Let's have a...
Flight Princess BTS through the port, north and east of the tower. Thank you very much.
It's that time of day, unfortunately, we get a lot of silhouettes.
Red SO BTS. Good afternoon at the hook, thank you. CHV alert. From, well, Southside Middle, inbound to town.
Hi there, Melissa Roberts. Many thanks for your kind donation. Much appreciated.
BTS, Ventura, spearhead out.
Ventura, VTS, go ahead. Thank you.
Many thanks for your kind donation. It will go towards maintaining equipment and hopefully getting some new cameras installed.
Quick time VTS through the forward, thank you.
I keep trying, I keep hitting roadblocks. Boy, there, Anne Flemings is only 4 weeks left for us. Can't wait. I wonder where you're. What are you travelling on, shipmate? Are you on Ventura or are you on something else? Keep a look on. We'll shortly be seeing. Here we go. Over here, well, we'll see Ventura coming in from the right-hand side. Enter stage right. Would that be stage left? Don't know. We've had Sky Princess. Princess departed at 6. At 4. Ventura a little bit late at 5.
Auto Sun, Southampton VTS. Passing Western Ab Tower outbound, thank you very much. Save on the passage, good luck.
And then Iona, as far as we know, is due to depart at 6.
That's all copy, thank you very much.
Just watching out for Ventura. I don't.
VTS, Monjassa promoter, this is heading up to 102.
Monjassa promoter, VTS, all copy, thank you.
There was a bit of horn action there, shipmates, but I think it was a bit quiet to hear. Ventura and Iona honking at each other. I've noticed that Iona's horn is not very loud. It's very deep. Maybe it's got a long throw, but it just doesn't sound very loud compared to, well, let's say the Princess cruise ships, which seem to have a really vibrant horn that you can hear all over town. And it causes lots of complaints. The locals don't like it when they're sat down with a cup of tea, reading a good book, only to have the theme from the Love Boat blasting out. I personally don't mind it, but yeah, it does get on some people's nerves. It's the, I think it was the, oops, that one, there we go. There we go, the Monjassa promoter. She's waiting for Ventura. That might be Ventura's shadow coming in on the right there. I think Shield Hall must be following fairly closely behind. It is quite breezy. There we go. There is Ventura.
Yes, I'm curious.
Mercury, BTS.
Again, fish on the Ventura, go back 40.
Mercury, BTS 544, thank you. Okay, some VPS vessel copies, permission granted. With caution, of course, for the Shield Hall approaching dockhead inbound and the Ventura approaching dockhead outbound.
I see a good number of shipmates up on the top deck there, enjoying the sunny views.
Okay, some VPS all copies and yes, 3.7.
Sunny views and the departure from the wonderful port of Southampton. No one's waving yet. Man with you. Come on, man. Not too many people on their balconies today. Maybe it's a little early. Very distinctive stern here on Ventura. Not 100% in favour of this sort of design. Personally find it a little start. Oh, there's some people having a little dance on their balcony. Obviously very happy to be departing. I think this would be my favoured location out here on the back. Assuming there's somewhere to provide me with a rum-based cocktail, and I would be enjoying the views. So he's just passing the dockhead now. Ventura is one of the older cruise ships that we see here in Port Southampton. Over 10 years old. Merely 288 metres long compared to some of the other ships, like Sky Princess, near the 330 mark. Has a top speed of 23.2 knots, 43 kilometres an hour for all you continental types, and 26 miles an hour in the Queen's units. She is off on. Let's see, where is she on? Kevin to provide the information.
Good afternoon, Richard. So's Captain Fitz.
You can see some shipmates there on the stern of Iona. Getting a good view as Ventura passes. A little bit more hooting and honking going on. Oh, I can't hear it. Let's bet you can hear it over the microphone. It's too faint. Oh, I can hear all sorts of noises coming from Shield Hall, though. I think Shield Hall is honking at Ventura. This is a bit of a tradition. Now you can see Shield Hall is right there, so you'd get a fantastic view from Shield Hall. Yes, that's Ventura and Shield Hall honking at each other. But you can't hear the Shield Hall whistle. It's one of those ones that goes whoop, whoop, whoop. Something like that. Somewhat reminiscent of a sort of Second World War air raid siren. That's what I always think. I think it's a steam whistle. I think when I get on board, I'll find these things out and I'll be able to tell you exactly what it's all about. Anyway, they're having a good old hoot. If you were down in Western Shore, you'd probably hear that quite clearly. Right, as I was saying, she's off to... Ventura's off on a 14-night cruise to Funchal, Santa Cruz de Palma, Santa Cruz de Tenerife, La Palma de Gran Canaria, Arrecife, Cadiz, and Lisbon. So essentially, Madeira, Canary Islands, and a little bit of Portugal. I'm not sure what the weather conditions are like down there at the moment, shipmates, but I'm sure it'll be wonderful. I see our friendly little yachts down there.
Ventura, VTS, Western Shore.
Getting a little wet, potentially. Yes, that's a 14-night cruise. She's got 2,842 passengers aboard, 1,154 crew. Not maximum capacity. There's definitely space for a few more passengers, but reasonably full. I think probably a more or less full complement of a crew. Melissa Roberts says everyone's at the buffet. Well, I was wondering if it was buffet time, but it's early for buffet time. It's only just past 5. I would have thought you'd have enjoyed the sail away and the beautiful port of Southampton rather than heading straight for that buffet, but that is probably where most people were. Probably where I would be after the departing the port, straight to that buffet. Oh, there, Dave Watts. And oh, there, FaZe Cloud. I think he's asking if I were doing the Norwegian Premier tomorrow. I think I said I was. I know I said I was. I thought it was to you anyway. Yes, I should be covering. Like there's 4 ship movements tomorrow, starting at I think it's 4:30. I may or may not do the first one. Depends when I can get back into port. But certainly, will be able to do the 8 o'clock one, which is the what do they call it? The Norwegian Prima. New ship in port. There's a high probability of a water sloop for that one. That'll be good. Ahoy, the Mark Elliott says he'll be waving to your cams in 2 weeks' time when he sails off on our second ever cruise. Really enjoyed Iona in April on her inaugural fjord cruise. Looking forward to getting around on board Britannia. Excellent shipmate. Unfortunately, this is not the best location for Netley Cam. We're in these sort of sunny evenings. You get a lot of bright silhouetting going on. Only 3 partridges today. Where was the Head Sky Princess at 4 o'clock? We had the Ventura slightly delayed just after 5. And then at 6 o'clock, all things being well, we should have Iona. So that'll be good because she's up proudly on cruise count. That's the bow of Iona. We'll just wait for Ventura to pop out. I can hear all sorts of bings and bongs coming from Iona, all the passenger announcements, I guess, and buster alarms and all those sorts of various things. Lovely silhouettes there. Well, there, Planet Fitnesses. Do you do London tour departures? No, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't have any cameras up that way. Well, if anyone does have a view of looking London tour report, I would certainly be game for that. Oh, there, Dave Watts says his daughter will be on Iona and will be flying the flag on the stern.
Monjas promoter. Yeah, good afternoon, Simon. Swinging the fenders there, so I assume you're going to swing and go port side too. If you're happy, we'll just stay very tight on the reds and stay out your way as we come past. Yeah, absolutely. No, thanks very much.
Excellent. Oh, we shall look out for your daughter, Dave Watts, and see if we can see her waving a flag. That's a really great method of gaining the captain's attention. He's not the rightest of chaps, and can't always see what's going on, but a flag waving is pretty good, and if not, someone else will normally spot that. And we can see now a slightly better view on cruise cam. She's now popped out from behind Iona. Give it a bit of zoom in here. Here's the Ventura.
Yes, all copied, north and east of the tower. No reported traffic. I can see the Icelandica have and also Saab both approaching from the east at the hours, but they have not reported in yet.
Southampton, VTS, Iona.
Iona, Southampton, yes. Good afternoon.
VTS, Iona. Port sign 246. Draft 8.71. I'll go back to you with figures. Should be good for a departure 1800. Be north and east of the tower, main channel.
Iona VTS staff, all copies, thank you. Outbound 1800, 8.71, and we will wait on figures.
Thank you. She's off to Stavanger in Norway.
Iona VTS bound for Stavanger, thank you.
Another Norwegian fjordy trip. I'll actually have to look at the schedule for Iona and see when she actually stops doing the Norwegian fjords. Fjords in general. I'm sure one of you shipmates will probably be able to tell me when that will be. There we are, slightly better now that we're out of the sun. See, we've still got around there in their little dinghy. There you go, whizzing past. Okay, so I'm missing things in the chat, and Kevin 2 is making me aware of it. Where someone says, oh yes, that Mandy P says we have a Union Jack scarf waving near the P&O sign on the top deck. Right, I should keep a lookout for that. I often scan past that. That'll be good. And then I think we've got a flag on the stern as well. So a scarf and a flag today. See how easily they are, how easy they are to spot. The captain sometimes can't see these things.
A shield hall. Yeah, it's a shield hall. Understood. You're going to go about a port now. Would you like me to pass under your stern between you and the cruise ship then? Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, if we make a swing and then you pass between us and the cruise ship, then that'll be fine. Yeah, understood. Yeah, we can't lose too much speed between you and now and then, unless you're happy for us to really, really hug the reds, as you prefer, Simon. Yeah, no, scrap that. We'll keep the original. We'll just keep this push on. Okay, thanks very much. We'll push on and get past you. We'll be tight on the... Thanks very much.
BTS Red 7 break away from Town Quay shortly.
Red 7 BTS, thank you. Iona's called in, but line's all still fast. The Venturas just north of the Cadland outward bound will be clear channel.
Okay, thank you.
Let's have a look at the lines. What's going on here? Anything going on here? No, all present and correct.
Southampton to VGS, Iona.
Iona, BTS.
Yeah, VGS, Iona. Got the figures when you're ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
Iona, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, passengers 4801, crew 1730, total 6531, plus me.
And all received, many thanks.
Thank you, and do we have SP today?
I will find out and get back to you. It's currently down at Echo.
Well understood, thanks.
She's due to depart very shortly, is Iona. Okay, we see a shipmate there down on the well deck. Keep an eye on that while Ventura plies away down the Solent.
Thanks very much, Simon. We've got loads of room here. Yeah, if you swing as you can. Thanks very much.
Iona, Vita.
VGS, Iona.
Iona, Vita's confirming you will have SP patrolling you.
Wonderful, thank you.
Seahorse, always see, thank you.
Still gusting up around 20 knots. It's quite windy. I'm not entirely sure I like the condition of this chap's sail. Looks a bit twisted. Not sure what he's up to. He's leaning. Oh, look, it's quite windy.
Red Falcon shortly underway from Royal Pier. Permission to come up to speed, please.
Red Falcon, VTS, that's all received, thank you. Size in the Iona, just singling up now.
Oh, copy, thank you.
Really? I can't see any singling up going on. Where? Where's it singling up? Looks like all lines attached to me.
Cheers for your alert, thank you, good evening.
Iona's off on.
Yes, Iona. If you're happy, we'll continue to let go and get underway for 46.
Iona, VTS, that's all received, clear to proceed. Red Falcon is aware of you departing Royal Pier.
Surrender.
There we go. So, she should be singling up. Can't see anything going on just yet. Looks like she's going to be leaving bang on 6 o'clock. I think the captain's making up for previous late departures earlier on in the season when all the COVID regulations were in, and Iona was leaving 2, 3, 4 hours late.
Roger 6, thank you. Ventura SO1 outward bound will be clear channel, and Iona just about to let go in the ocean dock.
So keep an eye on these lines. See what's going on. Hi there, Nicholas August. So we've got a couple of people to look out for. We've got Mandy P waving a Unijack scarf near the P&O sign on the top deck. So we'll keep an eye out for Mandy. And we have...
Eagle, thank you. Ventura passing SO outward bound, clear channel, and the Iona about to let go in the ocean dock outward bound.
And we've got shipmate Dave Watts' daughter, I think. Yes, and she's going to be waving a flag on the stern. Both should be fairly easy to see. Well, there, Kristen Nicholson says, end of September, beginning of October, they stop Norway. I knew someone would know. Oh, right, there we go. So, we'll have a different destination. I won't be saying lots of words of places which, for all intents and purposes, as far as I know, are made up. Iona's going to Spain and Portugal from September the 24th. Hoy, shipmate Adele Sharp, many thanks for that information. We are on her then. Aha. That's probably a good time to go to Spain and Portugal at the end of September. It'll be starting to potentially get a little chilly here in the port of Southampton. It'll sure be plenty warm down there in Portugal, Spain. Boy, there, shipmate Steve Barrett says he collects model cars and buses, and do they do model cruise ships as they have been on Ocean Village? I don't know if they do model cruise ships. I can't say I've seen any. I have seen lovely models, engineering models of ships. When you buy a ship, say like some of that, well, like that tanker, like a tanker or something not as glamorous as a cruise ship. The production manufacturing company often makes an example of a ship in a glass case. They are really good. Lovely museum, marine museum in Kawasaki in Japan. That's full of them. Rather.
Station calling Southampton VTS.
Still waiting on Iona to depart. She said she was singling up.
Viking, Southampton VTS. Yep, good evening.
singling up action going on. Shipmate Nicholas August said he just got home exhausted from the heat. It was 45 degrees C. That is very warm if you don't have air conditioning. Where have you been then? Where have you been then, shipmate Nicholas August, if it was 45 C? Sounds very hot indeed. Aha, Robin Courage says that Setchfield's in Poole. I think they carry a range probably of model cruise ships. That's a previous question from a shipmate. That's one beauty of this channel. We've got such a great crew of shipmates. I always seem to have the answers for any question you could throw at them. Ahoy there, Watercloud. I apologise for being late. Well, no problem, shipmate. As long as you come in at some point, hit that like button. All will be appreciated. Just waiting on Iona to depart. She's the last of the day. Sky Princess departed at 4 o'clock on the dot. Ventura a little bit late, and it looks like Iona's slipping into a tardy zone. Only just a few minutes though. I'm just hoping she will start to release the lines. The pilot suggested everything was hunky-dory. All the air bridges were in. No, quite why there's a hold-up. Ah, we have a shipmate all in white now. A chap earlier with a red helmet on. The hierarchy in shipmates. Maybe he's more important if he's all in white. Oh, yeah, he's gone. Is he on his radio or is he on his phone checking the Solent Ships YouTube channel? Ventura's almost at the bottom of Southampton water now. She's on her way to Tenerife, Madeira, and Portugal. Whereas Iona is off to the fjords.
Sky Princess features, good evening. Sky Princess, all received, thank you. Have a good watch and see you next time.
Ah, now we have some action. The lines are coming in. I think we've all decided that a cabin on the bow is not the best place to be. Probably really good when you're in port, but while you're steaming along, a bit drafty. I think the stern cabins are my preference. I think from a little poll amongst everyone, that seems to be... I wonder if I can run a poll. Can I do that? Not sure. No. Well, maybe. Yeah. Ah, I've got to run a poll. I see. I've done something wrong. There we go. There we go. I'm going to ask you. I've submitted a poll. There we go. It'll pop up in the chat, and you can tell me where you'd fancy a cabin on the bow, the pointy bit, the stern, and the blunt bit at the back, or you don't mind. Ahoy there, Heather Herschel. And ahoy there, Graham Dowie says on her next week for a trip to the fjords. Nicholas August says he agrees with the bow stern. Says the stern is much more comfortable. At the bow, you bounce a lot. Oh, that's true. Did you actually find out where you'd been, Nicholas? Did you say? Oh, I wasn't looking. Apparently, he was somewhere where it was really warm. Oh, Ian Sim says MSC sell Lego models of their cruise ships. Oh, that's pretty cool. Looks like more lines are being released. She'll very quickly be departing. Nicholas Waters has been in Bahrain, and yes, he has AC. Very good, shipmate. Where do we go here? Dark Destroyer says he can't wait to sail next year on the new Avia, or Avia. Well, you pick the name of an insurance company that sounds appropriate for the name of a new cruise ship, and that's the one.
Blades 1 and 2, BTS, yeah, evening.
Boy, that's Sue Greening.
Blades 1 and 2, yeah, that's all received, thank you. The Red Eagle south of Bramble in, and Red Falcon Northwest yeah.
Sue Greening says she's on Aurora this coming Friday, 19 night Mediterranean cruise. Wow, that sounds pretty cool. Well, that'll be a wonderful experience, shipmates. So currently, I'm running a little poll here. 49% of people say they prefer the stern, 29% the bow, and 23% of people don't mind. So some people do prefer the bow. And Nicholas August says he's been in Bahrain. I'm not surprised that's hot. Parrot Stamp says how many on Iona? I think it was, there we go, 4,801 passengers on Iona. 1,730 crew. She's reasonably full. It's a maximum passage capacity of 5,200. So that's not bad at all, is it? Puts her just a couple of hundred shy maximum capacity, and she's got crew on board 1730, which is pretty much maximum crew capacity. I think that's almost, looks like all the lines have been released, so she'll be moving probably any minute now. I think she's moving already, is she? I think she's got a slight backwards motion about her.
Sea line, BTS, that's all received, thank you. Yeah, Iona's just let go last line, Ocean Dock outbound.
There we go. All lines are now clear. She will be on the move. Let's have a little scan around the balcony, see if anyone's on their balcony, or if they've all gone buffet side. I can see plenty of people on the balconies.
Evening. Autostar BTS, that's all received, thank you. Currently one outbound cruise ship Ventura, just at the reach. Iona, Beaches, sorry, I've been traffic there. Were you calling?
Yes, Iona. Yeah, underway from 46.
Underway now, thank you.
Yeah, not so many passengers on, not so many shipmates on their balconies today. We supposedly have a shipmate up near the P&O side, waving a Union Jack. Oh, I think I can see. Oh, I think I can see. A little bit closer. I think that's a Union Jack flag. There we go. Oh, I can't remember who that was. Iona's going slightly forwards. There we go. If you have something that's...
Ventura Vitas, so received. Yeah, I was watching you there. Next in we're bound Auto Star and the Icelandic have currently the hours.
If you have something that flaps around, it does make it a lot more obvious for me to see what's going on.
To the east.
I think that was Dave. Was it? Oh no, it was Dave's daughter. I wonder who that is then.
BTS, Princess Caroline.
Oh, she's on the phone.
Princess Caroline, yeah, good evening.
We're on the channel.
Caroline, good evening to you. We're just about to break away from Town Quay. We have 57 passengers, 6 crew, 63 total. PC number is a 197. Anti-wind class is 2.5. I would like to go having a look at the new cruise ship and then out down towards the hook and back. Our ETA would be 2200. Over.
Princess Caroline will say thank you, Reg at 6 Western Shelf in and Iona just getting underway.
Yeah, thank you.
This is a postcard type picture. The light is... I'm going to turn the radio off now. No, come on, radio, go away.
Reg at 6, yes please. Iona just coming out now from the Ocean Dock and Princess...
There we go. Very useful, but I think we know the passenger numbers and we know she's off the fields. This is like a picture postcard view, isn't it? You've got the sun shining the port side. That was three hogs from Iona, indicating that she's now popped it into reverse. Proceeding out. No tug assistance, so perhaps the weather's not a problem for Iona. Still gusting, west-southwesterly. Oh, it has calmed down just a touch. Still around 20 degrees C. A lovely day. We've got a few shipmates on board. We have... I can't remember which shipmate it was, but we have one shipmate with a scarf up here by the P&O side. They're up there. It's made, if you have something flapping around, it does make it a lot easier for me to spot. I have a good view from there. Port Southampton. And then we have someone else on the stern with a flag as well. Let's have a look, see if we can see that. We may not be able to see it until Iona gets a little further out. There are quite a few more people out on the decks. Maybe they're getting a bit of fresh air before they go down to the buffet. This is the stern, where we should have another shipmate waving a flag, but we might not see anything at all. Iona actually spins around and departs the port. Update on the poll: 40% of you shipmates would prefer a stern berth, 31% a bow berth, and 28% don't mind. So it seems like the stern wins. Fitness Well says we can hear 3 horn sound. Excellent. I didn't know if that was coming across. If you ask me, Iona has a very quiet horn. It's not as horny as some of the other ships. Some of the other ships definitely much hornier. Iona's a little more delicate, which is odd considering her massive size. Not sure if it's me. It looks like lots of people on their balconies. Oh, someone waving. There could well be some people on Town Quay. People tend to wave to and from the ships. Ah, there we go. It does look like a sunny departure, doesn't it? Not going to be a particularly good sunset, a little early for that. Nice fresh, breezy sea air. Build up that appetite. Lovely blue sky over the port of Southampton at the moment. She'll just reverse out here. Off the edge of the screen, annoyingly. Oh dear. And then come back onto the screen and then ply her way down Southampton water. Boy there, Heather Herschel says, too many people for her. She likes a smaller ship. Yes, I heard quite a few people like that. So Ventura might be more appeal, or Aurora, or one of those sorts of ships. They're quite a bit smaller. Nicholas always says Disney Magic. Oh yes, the Disney Magic. I quite like the Disney Magic ship. Great looking design, very classical. Before I actually saw the Disney ship, I was anticipating something quite ghastly, but in reality, not bad at all. If you are enjoying this broadcast, shipmates, and this is your first time on the channel, or even if it's not your first time on the channel and you haven't subscribed, do think about subscribing. Does help the channel out a lot, and there is some sort of like button there somewhere that you may or may not be able to click depending on the device you're using. I'd like to thank, while I'm thinking about, I'd like to thank the members of the channel who donate to become a member, and the PayPal donors, Patreons, all helping keep this channel afloat. And of course, to all you subscribers. Those clouds are racing up there. It is quite windy out there today. There are a number of shipmates there on their bow balconies. They'll have a view of the historic port of Southampton. And in fact, they'll have a view of God's House Tower, really, is what they'll be looking at. You can see the wing bridges here. I'll give you the wing bridge there. I'll zoom in on that, shall I? Not often we get to see the wing bridge. You can see right through it. There we go. You can see the crew all on board, all the officers up on the bridge. Make sure that everything is ship shape. The pilot will be on board. He'll be in command. Well, he's not in command of the vessel. He'll be giving directions to the helm, and the captain will be sanctioning that advice and making sure that we can depart. And those clouds are racing away out there. Well, there, Robert Courage says Disney is her favourite ship. Shipmate Heather Hurswell says, do Disney ships ever sail from Australia? Oh, I don't know. Shipmate Chris Bevins says, that is a huge ship. It is absolutely a huge ship. Ahoy there, shipmate Ian Callahan. Welcome aboard, shipmates. Many thanks for subscribing. Ahoy there, Ali Clark says, looks like a lovely evening. It is a lovely evening. It's slightly breezy. Might take the pleasure out of the evening for you, potentially, but it is, other than that, I think it's a lovely evening. A number of people here up on the top deck. I've noticed one thing with Iona, there is a lot of public spaces. It's actually very difficult to keep on top of where all the people are. Well, there's a couple of infinity pools on the back. We'll probably see those when she turns around. There's just so many places to go on Iona. Such a huge ship. I don't know. Would you ever see anything? I mean, those of you who have travelled on Iona, have you? If you're on it on Iona for a week, do you still find places that you've not been to before? I mean, it must be tricky, because it is such a large ship. You particularly notice it when she's in the port of Southampton. It's very visible from quite some distance. There we go. She's just about to reverse off the side of the screen here. Ahoy there, Chris. Sorry, ahoy there, Cruise with Chris and Maria says on board Iona in 84 days' time. Ahoy there, Al French says, wish I was down on Southampton today. We'll get there eventually. She is just making her turn out of the dock, out of the ocean terminal. Just be doing effectively what you might call reversing around the corner, bit of left hand down. There we go, a little bit of left hand down there, and off down Southampton Water. Ahoy there, shipmate Maria Burrell. Many thanks for subscribing, shipmates. Pleasure to have you on board. And then we can see from Netley Cam. It's a bit. Come on, Netley Cam. A bit wibbly wobbly from Netley Cam. It's the wind has picked up. Quite a number of shipmates on board enjoying the views of the wonderful port of Southampton. You can just about see the reflections coming off those glass windows. I'm assuming some poor shipmate's got to go around and clean all those. It's a job that I would fancy. If we dip over to Netley Cam, we can see daisy. You can see almost pointing directly towards us. Well, the Miss Roberts says, yes, I know it's impossible to eat and drink everywhere in a week. I thought that might be the case. There we go. Iona now heading directly towards us. Almost finishing that spin. Boy, there's shipmates. I can't quite read that. Rachel Triple Mummy. Okay. Boy, there's shipmate Rachel Triple. Really, thanks for subscribing. Yeah, just watching Iona. Almost full. Ahoy there, Keith Kench. Welcome aboard, shipmate. Many thanks for subscribing. Have Ben Iona reversing around the screen here. Oh, welcome aboard, shipmate Spider Bite. That's about as far as I can see, unfortunately. We can... Oh, there she goes, disappearing off. There she is. She's honking. Almost finished reversing around the corner. There she is there. Most lined up. A little bit more. Then she has to stop. Put it in drive. Head forward. See, there she's there. She's doing some honks. Almost full passenger-wise. I think it's about 400 short of maximum passenger capacity and about 30 short of maximum crew capacity. So yes, I was asking a question earlier. How much of Iona can you see in a week? And shipmate Sarah Bennett says not a lot. They need to go for a longer time to see it all. Any moments now, I think we'll have Ventura on Cow's Cam. You have to flick across to Cow's Cam, fortunately. There is Cow's Cam. Where is Ventura? Hiding there somewhere behind the bushes. And it's just disappeared slightly off the side of our camera. We seem to be having no ships here. It's supposed to be a channel about ships, and there's a lack of ships on the screen. Yeah, Iona's just up in the port. I think she's probably finished her spin now. Not on cruise cam just yet. There's a whole lot of seagull action down there. When these ships come and go, they tend to stir up the water, rather, and gulls love it. Well, we tend to call it a bit of bow chowder on the channel. If I'm not mistaken, that's likely to be the shadow of Ventura. And there we go. Majestic Union Jack emblazoned bow. Blasting across. Rather lovely sunny day now. Picked up a bit of speed. Looking like a proper ship with some white water there. point, that's probably in the region of 15, 16 knots, picking up some speed, going past the Isle of Wight. Heading off to Madeira, then Tenerife, and Lisbon, or the Canary Islands, I should say. Or there, Paul Wood, Jackpot King says, where's Iona going? She's off to the fjords on a 7-night cruise, I believe. 7 nights. 7-night cruise to the Norwegian fjords, stopping in at Stavanger, Olden, Heliset, Gellinger, Hogsund, probably somewhere else with a very peculiar name. Lighting conditions really are quite nice now. Probably a bit windier than most people were expecting today. Well, the shipmate Andy Pandymeistermore says, great to see Iona, brings back memories of when we were on her in March. Looking forward to go on the sister ship Arvia in January 2023. Ah, she'll be quite new then, I believe. I think her first maiden voyage is somewhere in December. So if you're on her in January, she'll be all shiny and fresh out of the shrink wrap. And that's Ventura off on her way to the Canaries. Here we go now. Iona's completed her swing, heading down Southampton water. We've got one more shipmate to look out for on the stern, apparently waving a flag. We saw a shipmate up by the P&O sign with a Union Jack scarf. We saw that clearly visible. Let's have a look on this side of the ship and see if we can see any people. See some reflections of that Ro-Ro, all green and white in the windows there. Doesn't look, considering it's only a couple hundred, well, I think it was 400 people short of maximum capacity, doesn't look that busy on board, but perhaps we have hit buffet time and people are making their way. This is the infinity pool that's on the rear. Quite amusing. You can see these people. Come on, camera, focus you. Focusy camera. Focus. There we go. It does quite amuse me that they just look like they're standing up in the pool. Well, that's pretty good. So we are looking for a flag being waved at the stern. Look. Zoom out a bit, I think. See any flags? Sure, I can see any flags. Captain's eyes aren't what they used to. Well, unless someone can point it out to me, I'm at a loss there. Is that a flag? No, that's not a flag. That's just no. No, can't see that, unfortunately, shipmates. I can see our shipmates enjoying the wonderful sight. Oh, I found it. There we go. She must have put it out. There we go. Oh, that's quite obvious now. Why didn't I see that before? She must have... Hop along here a bit more. Do-do-do. Hop, hop, hoppy, hop. There we go. I think that's fairly obvious. And if I'm not mistaken, is it upside down? Could be. Rather disappointing if it is upside down. Have to get in a bit closer. Ricky when they're moving now. Okay. There we go. Oh, I can definitely see that, shipmates. Well done. Top marks for identification purposes. And a little bit of jiggering as well. Almost feels like last night at the proms. Very, very jingoistic of you. Clearly someone's watching inside the cabin, perhaps. Well done, shipmates. Good job there. Heading off down Southampton Water now, she'll start to speed up slightly now she's past the dockhead. That's the Queen Elizabeth II terminal there. Flag in distress. Indeed. Indeed, shipmate. Kevin 2 correctly points out an upside down flag indicates distress. Christine Nicholson said probably gone for dinner. No, I thought we caught them just in time. Dennis Bratt says my sister is on the back on Iona next Saturday. Everyone's going on Iona, aren't they? I need to get myself on there. If the Wi-Fi was good enough, then I could probably do a broadcast from the ship in real time. How about that? Could have the captain doing a ship's TV from Iona. Let's have a little look over on Netley Cam, shall we? Starting to lose Iona behind the grain silos at the end. So, not the best of lighting conditions, unfortunately. The sun is rather strong, and from behind, we end up with more of just a silhouette there. You can see the sun on the water. Challenging conditions for the cameras. A little zoom in on cruise cam. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that, shipmates. Many thanks for joining us on this Ships TV broadcast. If you have enjoyed it, please do think about subscribing or hit that like button. There's 600 of you watching and only 600 likes. So, I was saying 279 likes, so there's a bit of a disparity there. Although I understand it's not easy on some devices to hit that like button. I'd like to thank all of the members of the channel. Patronage is greatly appreciated. The patrons, the PayPal donors, of course, all new subscribers. I shall continue to follow Iona down Southampton Water, and do think about coming back tomorrow because we will have the maiden voyage of the new Norwegian ship, the Prima or Primer. I'll go with Prima. So do join in tomorrow for that. We'll have quite a busy day. We've got Queen Victoria, the Queen Mary 2, something else. What was it? Something else. Captain's brain's not working today. So we start off at 4:30 with the Queen Victoria, 5 o'clock with the Queen Mary 2, 6 o'clock with Britannia. Then 8 o'clock, the Norwegian Prima. Hopefully there will be a water salute. not sure if there will or won't be, but it seems likely. She wasn't one. There wasn't one this morning when she arrived. A little rather early, I think, for most people to watch. With any luck, there'll be a water sloop this evening. Oh, sorry, tomorrow evening. At the moment, Iona is just stuck behind the rows at the dock head there. Past these challenging lighting conditions for Netley Cliff. So thank you to Netley Cliff Sailing Club as well for allowing this camera to be located here. And if you do have a location that overlooks the water here in the Southampton area, or perhaps further afield, maybe even in Tilbury Docks or something, do let me know. I'll be keen to expand the network of cameras. Could be good advertising for your business, or just fun if you happen to live nearby and have a view. And of course, thank you to the Blue Spanner crew who look after the chat, not just on the live streams, but on all of the streams that are running all the time. Oh, wait there, shipmate, just for a laugh. I think that says just for a laugh. Welcome aboard, shipmate. Many thanks for subscribing. And so we'll see Iona heading down south of the water. She'll be speeding up somewhere in the region of probably 12 or 14 knots. Heading off down Southampton water to the fields. According to other shipmates who are well informed, she'll be fielding until September somewhere, and then she'll be off to Spain. Apparently the fields have been a very popular choice. Glowing reports from all that have sailed to the fields, not just on Iona, but also various other ships. Well, I shall keep following up. Many thanks for being on board, shipmates. Until next time.